This week we are focusing on non-scale victories, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Lydia. If you're new here, I've been on my keto weight loss journey for 21 months. I have lost almost 90 pounds and I'm on my quest to lose 125 pounds total. I'm getting closer and closer to my goals, pound by pound, inch by inch. It has been a long road and there have been some ups and downs. As you know, if you've watched any of my past videos, I've had some great weeks, I've had some okay weeks, and I've had some not so great weeks. Now this past week, what I'd learned about the week before is stress sometimes can make you have a bad week on the scale. You know, if you stress too much, even if you did everything right, the scale might not give you what you want to see. And that's okay. We want to celebrate the non-scale victories, as little as they may seem and as large as they are. We should really be reveling in all victories, not only whatever the scale gives us when we stand on it. So this past week was another victory for me because I did take it easy just like the week before. I tried not to stress. Normally, I try to do everything right. Like if everything that everybody says works, I try to do because I try to make a foolproof plan to get me to my success. So if somebody says I should be intermittent fasting 16 hours or 18 hours, then I do that. If someone says I need to be taking apple cider vinegar, studies show that it's good for you, I do that. If someone says try to do one meal a day, I'll do that. If someone says work out 5 days a week, someone says track your calories, if somebody else says, you know, drink more water or something, I try to do everything I possibly could. So there were a couple of weeks where I felt like I was doing everything right and it just didn't make sense that the scale either stayed the same, didn't move, or I went up or down. And I've talked in the past about expectations and how I have expected myself to be further along, and I had a goal in mind and I didn't reach a certain amount of pounds lost within a certain amount of time period, and I really get stressed out and frustrated, and that kind of mentality can make you throw your hands up in the air and say, screw it, I'm tired of caring as much as I do, and I'm just gonna throw caution to the wind and do damage control later. Well, I am trying very hard not to do that. I'm trying to change my mindset because your mindset is everything on a weight loss journey. This thing right here tells you if you can or can't do something. And what's crazy is you can always do something. It's this telling you, no, you can't. And that's what you have to battle, is that mindset of something is too hard, or you're not doing it correctly, or it's not going to work for you, but it works for everyone else. Or wouldn't it just be better if you could just go back to how you were eating? You were happier back then, but you weren't. It just felt happy in the moment of eating all of the bad stuff that made you feel good in the moment. And then afterwards, the results and the ramifications of that decision weighed heavily on you later. So let's talk about my non-scale victories this past week. Well, you know, I didn't stress again. I didn't hold myself to my intermittent fasting window. I really believe your body will naturally intermittent fast as you are not hungry as much. So I try to listen to my body, and I tried to have my coffee when I wanted my coffee or eat when I was hungry, and then stop when I wasn't. I'm trying to get better about that. And so this week, I think I did really well. I loosely intermittent fasted. Like I noticed I was breaking my fast and having my coffee around between 9 and 10 a.m. My window, if I was going to do hardcore intermittent fasting, would be from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's my eating window. And then I fast between 6 and 10 a.m. the next day. Well, I've been kind of loosely following that this past week. Maybe I might break it a little bit earlier, like around 9. I think today I broke it like at 8:30. So I'm not stressing out about that. I'm just trying to listen to my body when it comes to that I was taking Soleil water last week. That was me supplementing my sodium because I started thinking, you know, everyone talks about when you start keto, you need to supplement your electrolytes. And I didn't actually do that when it came to sodium. I did take magnesium at night. I take a blood pressure medication that has potassium in it. So the only thing that I was concerned about was my sodium, but I heavily salt my food and I wasn't feeling bad this entire journey. Like I wasn't getting lightheaded or getting headaches really, which are normally indications that you're low on sodium. But I wanted to supplement it because I didn't know if it was going to help my weight loss, if I was going to feel any better. So I started supplementing it. And I might have added too much too soon. I probably should have eased into my Soleil water consumption because I was adding 4 tablespoons a day, which I think each tablespoon of Soleil water, which is essentially salt water, is about 1,400 milligrams of sodium. So I was taking 4 a day, from 0 to 4 a day. Now, if I had started off one week adding a tablespoon and then the next week adding a second tablespoon, ease into it, it might not have been such a bad thing. But pretty immediately after the first like 2 or 3 days of adding Soleil water, I started getting headaches and lightheadedness and wooziness. And I'm like, it has to be the amount of sodium that I am putting into my body. And so I talked with a friend and he was like, well, if you didn't feel bad before, why did you feel like you needed to add more? And I was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I should really go by how my body feels. And my body felt great. And I don't know why I was trying to add something to fix something that wasn't broken, essentially. So I stopped doing the Soleil water. My blood pressure was starting to rise as well. And I wasn't sure if that was a correlation, direct correlation because of the Soleil water or not. But I'm trying to keep track of my blood pressure because my goal is to get that number to go down anyway. So this past week, I did stop the Soleil water halfway throughout the week. I did not go to the gym again, and I only walked one day this week, this past week. But it was a 45-minute walk. I wasn't a million times on top of my steps trying to get 10,000 steps. I was kind of just taking it easy again. So my non-scale victory is that I took it easy again. My non-scale victory is that I did walk that one time. I'm going to celebrate that because as much as one part of me can go, but you didn't walk 4 or 5 times a week, not focus on the negative. I want to focus on the positive. And hey, I put my shoes on one day last week and I went for a walk. So that is definitely a victory for me. Another non-scale victory this past week, I went to the store, I went to Ross, and I needed black pants, like black dress slack pants. I have an event coming up next week and I didn't have anything other than leggings to wear. So I went into Ross and I found a pair of black pants and they were kind of stretchy, but they still looked like slacks. You know, they're the ones that don't have buttons or zippers. It's just kind of ones that you pull on, but it didn't say like a small, medium, or large. It said size 12. Mind you, I've not tried on any clothes in a store in a year or so. So I had no idea what size I actually wear. So I grabbed it and I was like, oh, it looks kind of small. And I try to stretch out the waist as much as possible. And I'm like, I don't know if it's going to fit. So I brought it home and I was like, okay, look, if it doesn't fit, if it's too small, these will be goal pants and hopefully I'll fit into them in the next couple of months or something. And if they're too big, which I didn't think they were ever going to be too big, I can always bring them back. But I tried them on and they fit perfectly. Like I absolutely love these pants. I should show you. Maybe I'll put them on and show you and insert a clip right here. But I really, really love them. I love the way that they fit. I love how snug and like it felt perfect. It didn't fit like it was too tight. It felt perfect, like a glove. That's what I'm trying to say. They fit like a glove. So that was a non-scale victory because I had no clue I was in a size 12. Honestly, I didn't even know. I don't know. I couldn't even imagine to tell you what size I thought I was. I just didn't know I was already at a 12. So that's exciting. All right. So as far as my calories this week, my goal this past week was to do 1,231 calories, 110 grams of protein, 79 grams of fat, and of course to stay under 20 net carbs for the week. I kept track of all of my calories every single day, all of my macros. I averaged 1413 per day. When you add up all of my calories and divide it by the number of days in the week, which is 7, I got 1413 as my average. So mind you, that is almost 200 calories per day over what I thought I should have been eating every day. So I was a little nervous come on the scale because I wasn't sure how eating an extra 200 while not going to the gym or working out, what that was going to do on the scale. My protein averaged 130 per day. Mind you, my goal was 110, and that was over as well. My fat averaged 82 grams per day. My goal was 79, so I was over on fat as well. Not by much, but still, I was over on fat. And my carbs, of course, was to keep it, my goal was to keep it under 20 net carbs per day. I averaged 15 carbs. So that was the only number that was under. But obviously, I was over on my calories, my protein, and my fat as far as my averages this week. The good thing is my steps. I did keep track of all of my steps. I had a total of 44,981 steps this past week. And that is an increase from last week of 13,812. So I walked 13,812 steps more this week than I did the week before. So now for the weigh-in. So last week's weigh-in, I weighed in at 179.6. This week I stepped on the scale and my weight was 178.0. So that is a loss of 1.6 pounds this week. I will take it. This has been a really good week of non-scale victories as well as a scale victory. I am excited that I'm getting closer and closer, deeper and deeper into the 170s. My main goal, of course, is to get down to 165 because that will be 100 pounds lost. But if I can get down to 175, which I am only 3 pounds away from, then I will be officially at 90 pounds. And then, of course, 95 when I get down to 170, and then 100 pounds lost at 165. All right, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button now so you can watch me get closer and closer to my goal weight, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.